Hello guys! Wait, why am I saying hello? Anyway, I'm here on my channel. Now, I'm just going to check on MikeyAngryBirds. I mean, I'm hoping that he has made comments in, you know, my latest reaction video. He has!
Hallelujah! 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 Hallelujah!
Now I'm just going to see what he has to say. What? He's going to leave me forever? He's going to leave me forever? First Austin Sheets / Nectar Sheets, and now MikeyAngryBirds. Oh, you know that sometimes you only realise how much you miss something when it gets taken away from you. That's the feeling I have now. I mean, why? Why is this happening to me? Why? He wants to find a new friend just like me, but I can imagine how hard that'll be. Why would you do this to me? Why? I'm just so sad. Oh, no. This cannot be. No. I can't believe this. You know what this means? You see these 5 videos? These are basically the videos which make up my reaction on his reaction part 2 on my Ratchet & Clank review, or reaction. Well, since he's no longer with me, there's no reason to have these. I'm going to delete these right now. Am I sure? Yes, I am sure. I mean, this came to beep out of nowhere. I mean, 1 minute we're like, he's like, Big Bang Boss, one of my favourite reviewers on one of my favourite YouTubers, I love him so much! And then the next minute he's like, I want to leave Big Bang Bot. Clear as see that he's been too mean to me. And this will be not going on any longer. I mean, was it that promise I tried to make to you? Was it because of some other random reason which I'm unaware of? This just happened to beep out of nowhere. I mean, what am I supposed to do now that he's gone? His birthday. Aha! His birthday! Along with one of my friends' birthdays and like a boy who used to be in my school but he got expelled's birthday. So, this means I can make a video on one of his favourite games. And he won't even be able to see it! Yes! And this means I can review games that he wanted me to review but he can't see because he's now gone. I mean, seriously. Now, when I said yes, I don't mean it's an amazing thing. I do miss him, but this means I can review these games and he won't even be able to see it, so I mean, there's games such as Super Smash Bros. Melee, Bayonetta 2, Sonic Boom, Rise of Lyric, Crash to Insanity, Shrek 2, SpongeBob SquarePants, Battle for Bikini Bottom, and all the Lego games, and not to mention a whole bunch of games which I don't even own, such as Yoshi's Island, Finding Nemo, Open Season, The Neverhood, and Plants vs. Zombies, and possibly even more than I'm forgetting about. I mean, this is so good, I can't think of another game that I'd want to actually review that he doesn't want me to. Where the beep am I hearing that laggy music? It's laggy, but where's it coming from? I recognise that tune. Oh yes! AngryBirds! This will be perfect! After his name is MikeyAngryBirds, so you know what? I can review the original Angry Birds! Yeah! Just like you know, I'll be playing the game on an iPad Air, and it will be coming off of an Apple TV, which will mean it will be coming off of the regular TV, and the audio on my iPad going through the Apple TV is, well, as you heard earlier, laggy. So you may expect to see a lot of lag in this video. But I am going to use audio from different games. So that'll hopefully make you happy. I hope. Anyway, let's begin! The story of Angry Birds is simple. And I mean really simple. Basically, these birds have eggs, the pigs are jealous, and they really like eggs, and they just want to cook the eggs, so they steal the eggs from the birds, and it's up to the birds to kill the pigs, and to save their eggs. The end. The story in this game is obviously extremely simple. I mean, it makes the story in Walt Disney World Quest Magical Racing Tour look more complex. Why is this game near me? But it's all about the gameplay, you know. The story's just a minor thing, but this game has almost no story. I mean, either have a story or don't have a story. That's it. And this story is so basic, generic. There's no build-up, no suspense, no character progression. It's just the same thing over and over again. There's no story. The end. But it's all about the gameplay, you know. And the gameplay must have been what sold Angry Birds. I mean, come on. In case you don't know, this game right here, or at least the franchise, sold over 2 billion downloads and copies and stuff like that. Well, I don't know if it's the franchise or the first game, but even if it is the franchise, that is more than the Mario, Pokemon, and Call of Duty franchises. Combined! Doubled! And even then it's still a lot more. I mean, seriously, if that's the sales for the first game, not the entire franchise, then Lord help me. Oh great, I just swore to God. That's one of the 10 commandments broken. I'm going to hell. But anyway, on to the gameplay. I'm pretty sure that we all know how to play Angry Birds. And I mean beeping all of us. I mean, you've got these birds and you've got to kill the pigs. It is so simple. You swing them off a slingshot, you've got multiple birds, and you've got to kill all the pigs before you run out of birds. I mean, it's so simple. This is like the definition of simple. I mean, if you looked simple up in a dictionary, I wonder if you'd find Angry Birds. You know what? I think I'm going to check. Here's my dictionary. Not the best one. I mean, karaoke isn't even in there. Well, karaoke as everyone says, but hey, I'm pretty sure I can find simple. Okay. It's not even a list of letters. Man, I need to do this manually. I need to find it. S. This is S-E. S-I. I'm getting closer. I'm getting so much closer. Come on. It has to be somewhere on this page. Must find it. Have to find it. It's the one. It's on the top of the page. Let's read it. Well, I'm going to read it. Okay. Simple. Okay. I'm just going to read this. Wait. Where? What? What? Huh? 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 Where's Beaver's Angry Birds? Angry Birds is in this dictionary. This dictionary sucks. I'll never be looking in that dictionary again. Anyway, in Angry Birds, you have many different coloured birds, all with different abilities. The red birds are, well, you know, they're a little bit average.
I love average.
Whoa! It hasn't been way too long since I last used that joke, but it must have been over a year. It must have. And if I'm wrong, please tell me. Except that MikeyAngryBirds is gone, and no one's here to tell me, and no one cares, and then there are the bluebirds, which can apparently clone themselves and into 3, and they're tiny, and they're not the best birds in the game. That's all I have to say. Then there are the yellow birds, which can go really fast, and yes, I can use an obvious joke here, but I'm not going to because there's kind of an official song from that same franchise, and that kind of makes this count, and, well... And then there's the blackbird, which can literally explode. Now, the explosion doesn't look that cool, but it can still explode, so yeah. Anyway, the white bird also exists, which literally poops its exploding eggs, which is actually kind of cool, but there's more birds to be seen. There's the green birds, which you can use as boomerangs, and they just fly back to you. There's also the big red bird, which is very powerful and can easily destroy all of those pieces of wood, ice, and rocks. There's the orange bird, which just blows up into this giant orange thing and then it just floats away like a balloon. Okay. And then there's Stella, the only bird I can name other than the red bird, which is literally called Red. And this bird can practically turn into bubbles and just make everything flow and then eventually land. That's interesting, I guess. And this bird was apparently popular enough to get her own show and her own spin-off game. 2 of them, in fact. This one bird? Wow. I didn't know that birds with no personalities could even do that, but I suppose they can. Oh, and there's also these red birds with, you know, feathers around them, which you can target at enemies, and there's the shockwave blackbird, which can just shoot off a giant electric explosion and kill everything around it, but, you know, that's just something, and that blackbird you can buy and get free versions of to bring into any level and help you cheat through them, and yeah. And as of late January 2015, there are a grand total of 14 worlds. There's the generic grass world. There's another generic grass world. There's a generic tree world. I mean, this tree world is so generic. It's not like in Donkey Kong Country 3 or Pac-Man World 2. This is literally a generic tree world. The end. Then there's the world which remarks all around the giant red bird. And no, I do not know his name. And no, I do not care. There's a Wild West world with some pigs with sombreros? That's not Wild West! There's a dark mine. Yeah, a dark mine. There's a birthday cake level, or should I say, just like the game, birthday Rovio. And I mean this. Rovio! Do you hear me laughing? Do you? No, you do not. Your puns suck. Also, Rovio sounds a lot like Romeo, but now that's irrelevant. There's a jungle world. You did see that massive fail, but that was my iPad randomly decided to switch sides of its screen, and I couldn't see what I was doing, and I died. Sozzers. Well, I didn't die, but bleh. There's this ancient African Indian tribe level, which has the birds with the, you know, feathers circling around them that you can target and beat. So did I seriously say African before I said Indian? Or Native American? I should have said Native American. God damn it! There's flock favorites, which is basically everything. There's birthday 2. There's no 2 in the original title. Where it basically tells you a theme of the level. In this case, it's a skull, and there's just, you know, blueprints in the background, and it's basically a blueprint type level. The end. Yeah, the joke's so old. Yeah! And last but not least, which is, you know, a bonus world, is, you know, a beach. Because beaches are most definitely the most magical levels to go to when you want a bonus level. Because beaches are the way to go, baby! No! There are no babies here! If you're a baby and you're watching this video, you probably have no idea what I'm saying, but I don't get why babies would even watch my videos, but that's enough talking about babies. And then there are the golden egg levels, where you need to find golden eggs and do certain tasks, such as collect a beep ton of, you know, 3 gold stars in each level, which is just ludicrous. Who would want to do that except for the most hardcore Angry Bird players? And yeah, that's it. You heard me, stars. Now, this game has a pretty simple concept when it comes to scoring. You've got a point system, and it's not pointless because it's used for grades at the end levels. Now, you have to kill all the pigs, and they give you points. If you destroy things, they'll give you points. If you have birds left over, they give you points. Basically, there are 3 stars. The lowest amount of scores you can get will give you 1 star. If you do really well, you'll get 2 stars. And if you do really, really well, you can get 3 stars. Even though these scores are extremely inconsistent. Sonic Adventure 2. If only if I owned a physical copy of you, I could show everyone you. And yeah, it's basically inconsistent. The scores are always different, and sometimes it's really hard to get 3 stars. And I mean really hard. It's not even worth trying unless you really, really want to play some of those golden egg levels. And I mean really want to play them. And that's practically everything the game has. That's all of the content. I mean, there are a beep ton of levels, sure, but seriously, there's only like 1 main game mode, which is playing the game. You've got 1 extremely simple goal. This game is so simple. And that's practically everything I have to say about the gameplay. Beeping, everything. And the controls is even worth talking about. You've got your iPad, or iPhone, or whatever the beep you're using. This game's on practically beeping everything except the PS4. At least things that were relevant in 2009 or past. And maybe even primitive phones made in that time, but no. To use a character's special ability, you have to touch the screen, and you can zoom the screen in and out by pinching your iPad screen like this. Those are all the controls, and while the controls are responsive and work very well, they are pretty basic, and they're not even worth talking about. But if there is one thing that I can truly say positive things about, it's the graphics. The graphics in this game are pretty good. The art style is very nice to look at. The game's bright and colourful. Everything's nice to look at. And overall, the game looks great. And it usually runs at a solid frame rate. Well, of course, unless you're playing on the Apple TV like I am. In that case, it's really inconsistent, but it's usually laggy. And I don't know about the other versions of this game, but at least the iPad version, when being played on an original iPad, the game looks very, very good. It's got a nice art style, everything's bright and colourful, and overall the game is just very nice to look at. It's just a nice game to look at. That is all I have to say. What? It was either that or the end. You would prefer the end? Okay, well, the end. The music in the Angry Birds! There's that song. That song's pretty catchy. But other than that song, and the theme when you know, go through the cutscenes, there's no music in this game. the levels are beeping silent. They couldn't even create music for all the levels. That is not good. Now, I'm not a music person, but when playing video games, I want to hear music because it just makes the atmosphere more interesting and better. But, you know, speaking in English is one thing, but music is another thing. And there are a bunch of sound effects which are decent to listen to, even though I swear to God that the song that plays when you get a high score was used in the Madagascar video game. I swear that I heard that in Madagascar, the video game. I don't have it anymore, but oh well. Are there any bad things about this game? Yes, there are. I'm sorry, Angry Birds fans, but there are bad things. And I'd also like to mention that official PlayStation Magazine UK gave the PSP version of Angry Birds Trilogy a 9 out of 10. Now, I thought that official PlayStation Magazine US was being generous when they gave the original Ratchet & Clank a 10 out of 10, but yeah, that's just my opinion. Seriously, this game does not deserve a 9 out of 10. That's all I'm saying right now. The first problem with this game is that the levels aren't that memorable. Now, surely you may be able to remember the set pieces, but individual levels? You'll have some good luck trying to find a really memorable level in this game. And this is not a good thing, because in good games, there are really memorable levels, individual levels that you remember. For example, I can remember individual levels in Crash 3. I can remember the double-header level where there are these double-headed guys who try and kill you with their bats. There are 2 levels where you're running away from dinosaurs. There's like a level with Coco on a jet ski, which is a secret level which you get to by going into the second motorbike level, which is at night by hitting a certain cyber alien on it, and the goal is at the very beginning, but there are nitrous blocking away and you can't get over them, so you have to go around the level and try and find a nitro thing and detonate to destroy them all, and then come back and go to the exit. I mean, it's like but there's like that level with the giant snake which tries to kill you. There's the library where you have to hide in a barrel, and just so much more. In Ratchet & Clank 2, there's Todano where you have to destroy a lot of rockets, even though that's optional, and there's like this gauntlet level where you have to kill a load of extremely difficult robots, and there's the final level which is really beeping difficult. And basically these games have individual levels which are really difficult and I really enjoy. Angry Birds, however, only has one significant level I can remember, and in that level you basically have to kill a beat ton of pigs. Literally. It's probably the best level in the game, but that's only because it's the most memorable level in the game. How sad. Now, I know that this is a puzzle game with a beat ton of levels and a physics game, but that's not an entire excuse. I still want... If you could have creative level design such as this, I want to remember some of these levels. But I can't. Because individual levels are just so forgettable. I'm like, the games I showed earlier are the whole bunch of memorable levels, and I only named a few of them to you. And that's what makes a good game for me, a game with memorable levels. But the levels aren't memorable. You may remember the set pieces, but you won't remember the actual levels, which sucks. Oh, and there are also a bunch of power-ups. You can make your bird bigger, you can make your swing shot more powerful, you can target pigs, and you can make an earthquake happen, which if you're lucky will kill all the pigs on the screen, and you can get shockwave birds to take up a bird slot, and they help with getting 3 stars, but just had to mention them. Oh, and there's also the Mighty Eagle, where you throw this bird bait and then the eagle swoops down to get it and it just destroys the whole level, and it's cool, but if you want to use it infinitely you have to pay real money. Surely it's only 79p, but still, that ain't good at all. I mean, you have to pay for the regular power-ups as well. This is annoying. This is really annoying. Because with the exception of the slingshot, all of these power-ups are actually useful. This is annoying, in my opinion. Now, I may have those few flaws, but Angry Birds isn't a bad game. It is actually fun. I see the appeal. I can see why people like Angry Birds. I do not think it's a bad game in any way, shape, or form. No, I do not. At all. Which I think some people... MikeyAngryBirds. Oh wait, he doesn't watch my videos anymore. Think, but the truth is, after replaying this game, I actually don't hate it. Surely I don't love this game, but I can see why people like it. Angry Birds is fun. The art style is very nice. The 2 songs this game has are memorable. The set pieces are memorable. Individual levels are not memorable. The birds have no character, which is one of the flaws I have with this game. And I don't care about the cartoon series. This is 2009. We should, at the very least, give these characters personalities without making a TV show. Now, surely, this isn't the biggest thing ever, but some good games have really memorable characters, which just makes them more fun. And while these birds aren't forgettable, they don't have any personalities. They're so one-dimensional. It's just not amazing. But this isn't a bad game. It's far from it. I can see why people like it. Surely not 9 out of 10 worthy, 2 billion downloads across all platforms, releasing it on 10 trillion platforms. It's more merchandise than Nintendo could put out back in the 80s and even today. This game is still fun. I do respect it a bit. Angry Birds is not a bad game. I do not hate Angry Birds as a game. I just hate it as a franchise. I hope you got that. Okay? Overall, Angry Birds, a franchise which I hate. I hate Angry Birds as a franchise. Why? Because it's popular. And that might not make full sense, because I love Mario. Mario's popular. But here's the thing. Mario is actually enjoyable. Mario is always new. Angry Birds, however, it's the same beeping thing over and over again. I hate Angry Birds as a franchise. Angry Birds sucks as a franchise. It needs a TV show to make the characters have some personality, even though they still don't have that much because they don't even talk. There's the new movie coming out, like 2016, which looks horrible. Seriously, they changed the design so badly. Could you imagine what it'd be like if that movie was actually good? And the beat down on merchandise, the games aren't that amazing. 2 billion downloads! Even if that's the whole franchise has only existed for just over 5 years. There have barely been over 10 games. There must be somewhere between 10 and 20. Yeah. Well, you know, unlike Mario, Pokemon, and Call of Duty, that's not as much games as those franchises as it existed as long as those franchises. Man, it still sold almost, over 4 times as many copies as the entire Mario series. I mean, what? And they even released this beast for a very high price, even though Angry Birds is cheap on the portable stores, on the iTunes store and the Android store and all those stores. And basically, beat this game. This game doesn't need to exist. 19 exclusive levels, but the game gets updated so much, so that's out of date. Beat Angry Birds trilogy. It's just not worthy. And beat the whole franchise. But Angry Birds as a standalone game is actually quite good. Now, the levels aren't that memorable, but the physics work pretty well. The graphics are great. The few songs the game has are pretty good. The character designs are memorable, and Angry Birds isn't a bad game. It's fun, but it's not addictive in my opinion, and it's certainly not worth a 9 out of 10 official PlayStation Magazine UK. And the games will beat and everything. I mean, I swear to God. Well, I shouldn't, but seriously, practically the exception of the PS4, every device that existed post-December 2009 that was still relevant has had a port of this game. Seriously, this is just so weird. Oh, beat, the music ended.
12 seconds later.
You know how the joke goes. He yells SpongeBob for a bit, he opens his door, he yells through it, and then he brings back a SpongeBob DVD and yells SpongeBob reference. And yes, I know that he is completely irrelevant nowadays to me, but come on. Seriously, I need to find new music now. Seriously, I'm gonna miss you. But as I was saying, I hate Angry Birds as a franchise. It's just something that doesn't deserve to be a franchise, unlike Mario, Sonic, even if people want Sonic dead. Seriously, people hate this game so much. It's not that bad. Yes, it sucks, but I still like it. And as long as a whole bunch of awesome franchises such as Ratchet & Clank, Spy Cooper, Crash Bandicoot, Spyro the Dragon, 10 trillion more I didn't mention, and all that stuff. Angry Birds does not belong as the most well-known franchise ever. I think more people are aware of Angry Birds than Pac-Man, and Crash, and Mario. That's sad. I wouldn't be surprised. And it's just annoying. But Angry Birds is a fun game. It's got good graphics, good music, fun gameplay, and all that stuff. Angry Birds gets a B. Why not a B+? Just because I don't love the game. It's fun, but I don't love it. And it's not great. And yeah, it definitely doesn't deserve a 9 out of 10 official PlayStation Magazine UK. And it doesn't deserve all of the merchandise and franchises and cartoons and stories that it has and all that stuff. It just doesn't deserve that. But anyway, thanks for watching this review. I hope you enjoyed it. Please comment, rate and subscribe. And if you're expecting me to review other Angry Birds games, you must be kidding. Seriously, you must be kidding. I doubt for his next birthday I'll do it, because he's dead, he's gone. He's gone out of nowhere. Well, it's time for me to give my tribute to him. Goodbye, MikeyAngryBirds. Goodbye.
Clearer C. Now, I said he will be missed because that's what he would have said with his English. And second off, he's dead to me. The end. Anyway, goodbye. I would have made a longer tribute, but I didn't have the time. Goodbye.